LEGO Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight has a release date, September 18th. From TT Games, the studio behind LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, this one takes on the full origin arc of Bruce Wayne, from training with the League of Shadows through to becoming Gotham's protector. It's built around an open-world Gotham City with landmarks including Arkham Asylum, Ace Chemicals, and Wayne Tower, navigable by Batmobile, Batcycle, Grapple, or Glide. Combat combines fluid combos, stealth, and detective mechanics, and the Rogues Gallery includes the Joker, Penguin, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, and Bane. Allies like Gordon, Catwoman, Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl factor into the story's progression. Local co-op with split screen is supported throughout, which remains one of TT Games' most reliable strengths. Rayman Legends is getting a full 3D remake, and it's got a release date, October 1st, revealed during Sony's State of Play. Rayman Legends Retold comes bundled with Rayman Origins, Enhanced Edition as part of Rayman's 30th anniversary. The remake rebuilds the acclaimed 2D platformer with new visuals, a new sixth realm, for additional musical stages, and voiced cinematics scored by Christoph Herrell and Grant Kirkhope, blending original compositions with new material. Up to 4 players can play through the full adventure in couch co-op, and Kung Foot, the competitive minigame from the original, returns with improved controls, power-ups, and customizable rules. Rayman Legends in its original form still plays brilliantly today, which makes a full 3D rebuild one of the more surprising anniversary choices in recent memory. Tomb Raider: Legacy of Atlantis has been delayed. The action-adventure reimagining of the 1996 original is now set for February 12, 2027. The news came during Sony's State of Play alongside a fresh trailer, and the game's Steam page was updated to include an AI-generated content disclosure notice. Developer Crystal Dynamics has stated that any AI-assisted assets were either replaced or refined by human artists, though the disclosure has already drawn scrutiny. The game itself is built in Unreal Engine 5 and follows Lara Croft hunting the scattered pieces of the Cyan across Peru, Greece, Egypt, and a mysterious Mediterranean island. It's pitched as both a reimagining for longtime fans and an entry point for players unfamiliar with Lara's original story. The delay pushes it into early 2027, making it one of the more anticipated titles of that year's early window. Ace Combat Zero: The Belkan War is coming to PC, and it's never been there before. Bandai Namco made the announcement quietly, attaching the Flight Combat title as a pre-order bonus rather than giving it a standalone reveal. Originally released on PlayStation 2, Ace Combat Zero is frequently cited as one of the strongest entries in the series, known for its morality system and its portrayal of the fictional Belkan War. The game puts players in the cockpit of a mercenary pilot whose choices during missions shape how other characters and factions perceive them. It's a level of narrative texture unusual for the aerial combat genre. For players who missed it the first time around, this PC release is the first realistic opportunity to experience it since the mid-2000s. ELDERBORN: Vengeance, a first-person action game from Hyperstrange, has been announced as a new entry in the brutal melee focus series. Combat revolves around timing, positioning, and momentum. A hook lets players close distance quickly, while heavy slashes, counters, aerial attacks, and kicks reward spatial awareness over button mashing. Weapon types including two-handed, polearm, and fist weapons each carry distinct mechanics and dedicated skill trees that deepen as players commit to a fighting style. The Guild: Europa 1410, a medieval economic simulation, will launch in early access on July 16. Players build a dynasty from a modest business, expanding through trade, production, and political maneuvering, including bribery, blackmail, and extortion, to dominate a city's power structures across generations. The game draws directly from the original Europa 1400, The Guild, offering a wide range of craftsman professions alongside a parallel path of crime and plunder for players who prefer a different kind of influence. The Lost Wild has new details and a fresh trailer, and it's shaping up to be one of the more distinctive takes on dinosaur horror in years. Developed by Great Ape Games and published by Annapurna Interactive, the survival horror game is set on a modern-day island where dinosaurs have persisted, and crucially, you have no meaningful way to fight them. The design philosophy comes directly from creative director Gary Napper, whose previous work includes Alien Isolation, the idea being that players should feel they genuinely shouldn't attack, not just that they can't. Instead, the game is built around evasion, distraction, and reading dinosaur behavior, with non-lethal tools providing options when hiding fails. The team behind the game includes veterans from Rare, Hangar 13, The Chinese Room, and Supermassive Games, which is a strong pedigree for this kind of slow burn tension. Digital Eclipse just announced 2 Toy Story projects, both launching this October as part of the franchise's 30th anniversary. The first is a retro collection of classic Toy Story games, continuing the studio's acclaimed Gold Master series archival work. The second is a standalone modern remaster of Toy Story 3. Digital Eclipse built its reputation on restoration projects, including the critically received Atari 50 and the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, so this isn't just a nostalgia cash-in. The studio brings genuine preservation intent to projects like these, with historical context and careful reconstruction as part of the package. Toy Story 3's game had a notably positive reception on its original release, and a modern remaster could bring it to audiences who never had access to the original versions. Pokémon Champions launches June 17 for iOS and Android, and it's a focused departure from the main series formula. The free-to-play battle RPG strips away exploration, catching, and gym progression entirely, building its experience around Pokémon battles as the central activity. That's a clean and deliberate design choice. There's a large audience that plays the mainline games primarily for the battle system, and Champions is essentially built for them. Details on specific mechanics and roster scope haven't been fully outlined, but the battle-first structure positions it directly against competitive Pokémon communities. Launching on mobile makes it accessible to a broad audience, and the free-to-play model means the barrier to entry is as low as it gets. Artis Impact is coming to Switch on September 17, bringing its turn-based RPG to Nintendo's hardware. Set in a post-apocalyptic future where humans and AI coexist, the game follows Akane and her AI companion bot through hand-drawn maps that blend pixel art with retro comic aesthetics, each map drawn from scratch rather than assembled from tilesets. Combat is deliberately streamlined, built around classic turn-based mechanics with weapon upgrades and character growth that scale without demanding complex strategy. Alongside the main adventure, the game includes home decoration, part-time jobs, cooking, and bathing, slow-life activities woven into the same world as the darker narrative threads. The tonal range, from dark post-apocalyptic storytelling to cozy daily routines, is one of the more ambitious balancing acts in recent RPG design. Gitaroo Man is finally accessible again, for the first time in over 2 decades, after being announced for the PlayStation Plus Classics catalog. The PS2 rhythm game from developer INIS had such a limited Western release on its original run that most players have simply never had a realistic way to experience it, and it never received a remaster or re-release in the years since. The game follows an ordinary schoolboy who transforms into Gitaroo Man and battles enemies through musical confrontations, and it built a devoted following based on its original soundtrack, visual style, and storytelling, qualities that held up in the memories of the relatively small number of people who actually played it. Its catalog edition is genuinely significant for preservation, not just nostalgia.